Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Canessa coming to you from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com on this, the 6th day of June in the year 2022. Sure hope you're enjoying your Monday, no matter where it is you are in the country. Beautiful day here in the Northeast. Very summer-like day, so hope you have all enjoyed your day. And as you do each and every Monday, you welcome me into your homes so that I might bring you this week's news. And from the screen, you can see this week's front page. And the headline is Skylar Squeeze up at the top. And this is an unfortunate situation that's happening over by the Hills and Schuyler Avenue in Kearney, or where Ciabras is located, and the CVS pharmacy over there. They're doing pipe work, and it's taking a little bit longer than usual, but it's hurting some of the local businesses. So they're looking at different options for traffic detours. Now, the places like CVS and Ciabras are open, and patrons can go there, but unfortunately, a lot of people see the big signs and they just don't look and they turn away, so it's hurting businesses. So if you're involved in traveling over there at all, take a look at this story on page 1. You'll see what the rationale is behind everything and what you can do, and just hopefully those businesses that are being affected won't be for much longer, but it doesn't seem like the work is close to being done yet. So take a look at the story that Ron wrote on page number 1. On page 1 on the bottom is something we talked about on the broadcast last week, and that is that there is a great need for project graduation. Some places have already stepped up to the plate, mostly from outside of Kearney, which is very interesting because we're in the middle of Restaurant Week, where patrons of Kearney businesses are being encouraged to support local restaurants, but yet not one local restaurant has stepped up to support project graduation. We hope that changes once this gets out, because it's the first time it'll be in print. We did talk about it last week in the broadcast and online, so maybe now that it's going to be in print, some of the local restaurants will want to get involved, but some have, but they just happen to all be from North Arlington, East Newark, and Harrison at this point. And congratulations and thank you to those places that have volunteered. I heard a few names. I don't want to mention any because I'm afraid that I'll forget some. But once I get the complete list next week, I will let you know where those places are that have indeed stepped up to help project graduation. As we move to the inside of this week's edition of The Observer, 9 new police officers taking, 8 of them are going to the police academy. 1 is already a Hudson County Sheriff's officer, so he will not have to go through academy training again since he's already been trained, but he'll do field training here with a field training officer already on the department. So 8 others go to the police academy in 6 months. God willing, all 8 of them will be on the job. So that'll bring the total number, I believe, to 1 less than allowed completely by the table of organization. The township of Belleville has switched over to a new trash hauler. There was a whole controversy about that, so you can read about that and find out what the new company is that switched. East Newark's doing the same thing, and it appears that the company that Belleville hired is the one that East Newark, quote-unquote, fired. So you can read about that in this week's edition of the paper as well. The Belleville Women's Club has recently celebrated its 100th anniversary. Very active organization. So many wonderful things that they do in town over the last 100 years. So you could read about that beginning on page number 4. Without telling you who he is, a deacon at St. Peter's Church in Belleville was recently ordained a priest. So not sure where he's going next, because they get their assignments, but they're not usually at the same place where they did their diaconate work. But young man was a deacon for the last year with Father Ivan in St. Peter's in Belleville, and he goes on now to the priesthood and his first priestly assignment. And don't forget, this week we have a advertising supplement that continues from last week for Flag Day as well. From notes from the mayors and the towns of Kearney, Lyndhurst, North Arlington, and Belleville. Bob Dowd, who is a retired chief of police from North Bergen, who became the borough administrator in East Newark, has resigned his position 4 months after accepting the job. You can look into that as much as you want, but when you get a job as an administrator and leave after 4 months, something's not right. But what that is, I'm not 100% sure. We'll probably never know, but it's unfortunate because Bob Dowd is a tremendous worker. He was a great police chief. He's also a commissioner on the New Jersey Sports and Exposition Authority, so Kearney residents will remember him from the meetings that we used to go to with the Keegan landfill. But he was only on the job for 4 months, and he's out. He is going to be looking to write a book. He's working for a publishing company now, and the book is a criminal justice textbook. So he'll have his hands full for sure, but just 4 months after getting the job, he's out. And also, the superintendent of schools, Rich Corbett in East Newark, has also resigned. Take that for what it is worth as well. And he's going on to Rockaway, where he will have a similar job as the superintendent of schools in a much bigger district in Rockaway. Jason Bernstein has 3 sports stories this week, including an athlete of the week. I'm not going to tell you who that is because I want you to certainly pick it up. And as we do each and every week, there are 2 pages of classifieds solidly packed this week. Lots of opportunities for jobs, apartments for rent, services being offered. So if you're looking for something, you're probably going to find it in those 2 pages of classifieds. That's going to do it for this week's edition of The Observer Live. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me as you do each and every week. If something breaks during the course of the week, we'll join you live then. But until then, we'll be back 1 week from tonight. From the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com, Kevin Canessa signing off for now. And we hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Good night, everybody.